I think they're confident and ready to go. And again, my message to them is like if you spend all your time trying to prove other people wrong, you're gonna be miserable. Like, just prove yourself right. If you think you're a good player, go play like a good player, man. And we made some real strides in the weight room with those guys. I see them bending at a high level, taking care of. Donnie does a great job with the mentality. I mean, I was over there earlier with Piper. I said, okay, you're holding me in one hand and Donnie in the other hand. You have to let go of one of us to peril. He's like, Coach, I'm sorry. He's letting go of me. So, like, that's the unity they built over there. So, it's going to be a work in progress. We have to do a good job as coaches, though, of calling plays and doing things that they do well, right? Like, I worked for Kevin Gilbride at the Giants. I was assistant O-line coach. And, like, he was going to protect the O-line. He knew that Eli couldn't play well if the O-line didn't play well. And how do I help the O-line play well? I'm going to protect him. I'm going to chip this guy. I'm going to run this play that we run well. So my job is to help our coaches figure out what we do well and then go do those things and let our guys play. I've done it a couple times. I went back as an assistant coach. I went back as the head coach at Temple twice. Lost the last game. We got a terrible call, lost the game. But I can't get fined for that, right? Because that was American, right? So, played them at home, beat them at home for the first time in 70. Beat them for the first time in 74 years, which was a big moment for Temple University. So, I love James Franklin. Grateful for what he's done for my university, my alma mater. Came in at a hard time and has brought them to excellence. Pat Kraft, their AD, is one of my best friends. Great AD, was my AD at Temple. So, it'll be fun to go there. The biggest thing I'll know is, hey guys, get ready for the crowd noise because it's going to be really loud, right? It's just it's a really loud, raucous environment. Yeah, we used to go back a bunch. My grandmother unfortunately passed away a few years ago, and that was last time. My aunt still lives there. Lots of family still there, but we get back. I went back last year. The College of Liberal Arts honored me as my wife was so mad because she had better grades than me, but they offered me distinguished alumnus. So I went back, and it was awesome to see. I got to get back and see people there. So there's a lot of people there that I love, family, friends. Love the Paterno family. So I'm happy for Pat, happy for James, and so just when I can, I try to get back. Because Pat's gonna fight, scratch, and claw to help his coaches be successful. He cares about the student athletes. He's not afraid of anything. He's gonna go fight for what he wants. And he's a really good person. Yeah, I was really close, and I am really close with Pat Fitzgerald. And obviously he's no longer there, but the day I got fired in Carolina, Pat was one of the first guys that reached out to me. We were always on Under Armour trips together, so my wife and his wife and all of us got along. I would let my son go play for him anytime. I respect Pat, and I don't know what that situation is. I'm not commenting on that situation, but I trust him. I've known PJ a long time. We came into head coaching together at Minnesota, and over the years, his wife and my wife, we've all gotten to know each other. I worked with Ryan Day at Temple. We were both on the staff together. Mike Loxley was in my cousin's wedding when I was like 14, 15 years old. So I think he was slipping me beers at the wedding. So I've known him a long time. I'm just trying to think if there's anybody else. Greg Schiano was the DB coach at Penn State when I was a player there as a freshman. So a lot of guys I have some, small relation with, a lot of really good guys. The one thing about this league I thought was interesting was I got there, we had, they have a monthly Zoom that you do with all the coaches, and everybody gets on it, to keep you up to date with issues. I think AJ Eds, the assistant commissioner, does a great job. But there's like a coaches group chat. I'd never been a part of that before. So guys are working together to help solve and fix issues in college football. Yeah. I think it's good to see them when we go to we went to the Big Ten meetings. I don't know anybody. It's good to see people I know, but I know they're trying to tear my throat out. They want to beat me bad too. So, but I like those guys. I respect those guys. Coming here, to me, it's all about first the players, right? I want our guys to have a great experience. We went to dinner last night, hung out last night. And I come here confident, man. I'm confident, about our team and the way we're headed and the direction we're heading. I don't have a timetable, but I feel confident that, what I've seen so far, I know I made the right decision in coming to Nebraska. Yeah, I think I'd say it's twofold. As I've gone across the state or I've listened to people speak, you recognize pretty quickly how much Nebraska means to not just people or fans, but to families, right? Ronnie Green came and talked to the athletic department as he was, on his last few days, and Jane spoke, and she was talking about these moments where their family, all of them come together to watch Husker games. I almost got a little emotional, my job's to make sure that the next generation, the generation, however long I'm here and I'm alive, that we're giving them those great moments and those great memories and those great relations. But there's a real, it's an honor to serve the state. Not very often you're not just, a lot of times you're serving a university and the fan base. Here you're serving an entire state as well. And I think that's a responsibility I take very seriously. In terms of like the other stuff, Trev's like, you're not gonna, you want to prepare. Like, you know, even at Temple it was like that a lot, right? I mean, Baylor was certainly like that. And go watch my first opening media statement at Baylor. Like I got up there and talked about scandals and I mean, I didn't talk about football. I was talking about, I mean, what we were going through was amazing. So I was always under the microscope. Carolina, obviously, both good and bad. I was under the microscope. The thing is that, I mean, I did a speaking engagement a couple weeks ago. I went up and spoke in Tacoma, and there was a 98-year-old woman that waited in line to talk to me. Like, you know how humbling that is? Like, I don't take myself very seriously at all. I'm like, this woman, like, I should be walking over to her and getting her lunch and being like, ma'am. But she waited, and she took out her flip phone, and we took a picture together, and it was awesome. And I'm like, man, like you have a real responsibility to do things the right way. And so I don't mind people want to stop and say hi to me. Kids want to get a picture. Great. Like, let's do it, man. Yeah. When I looked at Nebraska for all those years of them going to South Jersey, maybe even to Pennsylvania a little bit, and have obviously so many relationships there, that, sometimes there's those kids that, they're there and they fit us. We went and got Vincent Carroll Jackson this year from Harrisburg. When I was a position coach at Temple, I was recruiting Harrisburg for year after year after year. So a lot of connections there. We went into Philly. We took Ramir Stewart from Imhotep. I've been to Imhotep more times than I can count, and I love the school. And then I went over to Palmyra in South Jersey and took Quentin Ives. So I think not just myself, but a lot of our guys on our staff are from Pennsylvania. They're from Jersey. We have a lot of connections there. There's a lot of players there, and there's a lot of really good players there. And so if they're interested in going far away, it's a good fit for us. I'm nervous as could be when I'm in front of a microphone. Let me make that very clear. The whole time I'm like, don't say the wrong thing, don't say a cuss word, don't say trust me. I don't know that I work at it. I mean, I don't think I'd say I worked at it per se. Like my dad was a preacher, right? My dad was a minister, so I listened to my dad. He did more of his work as a youth minister, but I would listen to my dad. My dad married Julie and I, so I mean that's way more pressure than this. So. But I just think when I get up, I always say to myself, like, hey, like, what are the 2 or 3 things you're trying to get across? I maybe rehearse it in my head, and then I say, hey, what? And then I try to speak from the heart, right? I'd much rather hear someone speak from the heart, even if I disagree with them, than hear someone give me something scripted. So, I don't have a PR firm that says, hey, here's your key points. Like, I say to myself, what do you want to say? And I say it, and if it resonates, great. And if it doesn't, then I'm apologetic. I don't know about cheating more prevalent. I mean, the cool thing about being the head coach at Temple was all the big recruits there would always, they weren't coming to Temple, but they would always kind of come talk to us. And so I saw everything that was happening. I mean, I've known everything that's been happening for a lot of years. And it's not everybody. It's a couple of places, but it's pretty prevalent. It's pretty, it's funny. If you look at I'm very careful how far I go here, but if you look at the Tennessee case, you look at the numbers that, Coach Pruitt got, hey, 2,500 here, 6,000 there. That's nothing in the NIL era now. So it's been a jump. When I was coming back to college football, I was nervous about how am I going to handle NIL. But as I talked to people that are in those spaces in college football, they were all trying to figure it out. So I was like, well, I guess I'll try to figure it out myself. So, no matter what rules we have, there's always going to be someone that's trying to find an edge and is going to break the rule. To me, college football spent a lot of time focusing on things maybe that didn't matter, like whether a bagel was a meal or not, and we should have been focusing on things like this. So maybe now we will. I'm kind of at the point where if I think something, I'm going to say it. I'm not complaining about NIL at all. I never have. I'm not complaining about the portal. I never have. I just don't like tampering and poaching kids from other teams' rosters. It's not in the kid's best interest. If a kid wants to leave, he should leave. But it's just not inducing people to leave and come be your backup. It's not a good way to do things, and we certainly won't be involved. I don't know that. Yeah, Trev does all those things. Like, the good thing about having a great AD is he handles all that. Like, I'm very grateful to 1890. They've been an amazing job for us. The Pete family, been awesome. Matt Davison's been awesome, doing a great job for our student athletes, helping them get opportunities. But endorsing this, all that, like, I got to worry about picking up third downs and picking up first downs. Yeah, Buford won't be ready to go to start training camp. We're going to be really smart with him. Take some time. We hope that he'll be back, but we're going to be really methodical in the way that he goes. Yeah, I mean, when we took we said, like, listen, we're here to help you. This is a long-term play for you. Like, if you're eligible, great. If you're not eligible, then we'll help you, play another year. Then if you want to play next year, great. If he goes to the NFL, great. Like, just want to help the kid. I mean, I'll say this, he should be able to play. In my opinion, Eric Gilbert should be able to play, but it's not my decision. I hope he can play, but if he can't play, we're going to stand by him. I mean, if you just take that approach with a lot of guys, good things will happen. No, Jamie's handling it. It's kind of going back and forth. It's not like it's not happening. Like things are going, they're constantly working with each other. So when it all comes to fruition, I don't know. But again, I do believe he should be allowed to play, and I'm hopeful he can play.